that we have. Everybody knows that. However, let's get to the real point. You see this? This is a plectrum. This is a plectrum, and it's depends on how you choose which style or which type of plectrum that you use. I use a hard one. Do you use a soft one? The hard one actually helps me to play faster. I'm able to. I can play fast. The second thing is that if it's a flexible one, if I am able to bend it, then in that case, when it gets banned, it has to come back to its original shape and then get back to playing the note. However, there's a time lapse, and I don't want to have that. So in order to play fast, what I suggest, a hard plectrum and your fingers. Now let me show you an example. For example, you've got to get used to the strings. How? Because it makes a lot of noise. So let me shut them out by putting my fingers on the strings so that it doesn't make much noise. And so what I do is I try to play the strings. It's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Now ascend. So go down. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. As per by the science law, when we say going down, there's going down as by the science. However, this is guitar, so when you're going down, you're actually ascending. You're getting onto the higher notes. So I'll say ascending would mean going down like this, but descending would be going from higher note to the lower note. So these are the bass strings, or the strings which is there on top of the guitar are low strings, and these are high strings, as you know. So now when we are playing it, we have to make sure that we are trying to follow the pattern. For example, 1 2 3 4 pattern. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Get used to it. Or say 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Or 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Or 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So practice this. The more you practice with your right hand, the more you master your right hand or your thumb and your index finger with the wrist, the more easily you'll be able to play. And many people, they ignore it. They just try to speed up their left hand with all the 4 fingers, that they are trying to speed it up, but that doesn't work. Both of them has to be in sync. If they are not in sync, if they're like this, they will not be able to maintain the rhythm. And rhythm is more important, and you have to follow the band, or you have to follow the beat. So for example, what you can do is, when you are done with this practice, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, so what you can do is go to the main fretboard. For example, this is the 7th fret. Now what I do is I put my finger over there, the index finger over there, and then I play the ascending order. Let's say the ascending order, okay? 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So that's the 1 2 3 4. Now descend. And please remember, the idea of hitting the strings should be not softly. It should be not subtle. It should be hard. Hit it hard. Hit the strings hard. So the more you balance, or the more you master it, the more you're gonna hit it hard. So when you hit it hard, the note actually sounds better. So you can then gradually pick up the speed, and then once you start hitting the note hard, and once you start hitting the notes correctly, then that's the time when you can try to improve, or you can try to increase the speed. But make sure as well that this, so for example, this is the ascending one. Sorry, that's the descending one, sorry. So now what you can do is, instead of starting from here, what you can do is you can start from here as well. So that's going reverse. For example, if you're starting from here, what you can do is play in reverse. For example, you can start from here. You get my point? So what you do is, instead of instead of playing in the actual pattern or the natural way, what you're doing is you're going opposite to it, just like this. And this one as well. So you've got that 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Now let's go to the 1 2 3 pattern. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. You can change the fingers 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. Now descending. Change the finger. Reverse. So reverse. Now let's play the other way. Reverse. There you go. It's easy. Now let's get into the third pattern, which would be two fingers pattern or two strumming pattern. So that would be when you do 1 2 3 4. What you can do is forget about these two now. Let's play with the index and the middle finger now. Change. Change. Yes, of course, the ring finger and the little pinky, the little finger, both of them are very naughty. We know that. However, we can try to tame them, gradually tame the two fingers by, just this is finger exercise. The more you do, the more better. The more you practice, the more it's gonna strengthen, or the muscles muscles will become flexible, and then moreover they will start learning how to improvise whenever there is any requirement. So they will start you have to tame your fingers, especially these two. So when you start taming your fingers, and not only these two hands, your brain has to be in sync. So when you're playing different styles or patterns at a time, your brain starts picking up notes or picking up ideas, the styles that we are trying to play differently. Even if we are trying to play somebody else's song, or you're trying to compose, or you're trying to come up with a new tune by yourself. So you have got to understand the fact that you just cannot jump from one thing to another without even practicing. Now, for example, what we can do is, now once we're done with the 1 2 3 4, so it gets pretty boring when you start doing only these two stuff. You need something else. You need something else. So for that, what we can do is we can start with the simple staff notation thing, which is do re mi fa sol la ti do. For example, here on the 7th fret, you come over here. This is the string number 3, and then 7th fret. Let's say this is low do, and this is the high do. So that's do re mi fa sol la ti do. Now let's jump onto so let's say this is 1 octave, and let's go back. So let's try to change the octaves. Let's go low. So you play like that, and then so you're changing places, you're changing positions of octaves. So here, if you start from here, for example, once you're done with that, so what you can do is start from here, gradually. First, let your brain pick up these parts. Let your brain, the more gradually you'll go, the more slowly you'll practice, what will happen is that your brain or your mind will be able to focus on the different ways or the different notes that you're trying to play, and it will try to balance both the hands, left hand, right hand. So try to do that in sync. So let's try to do it again one more time. So you start picking up the speed later on, not now. 1 octave, 2, 3. So we're trying to play with 4 octaves there. So what you can do is now the reverse way, which is the descending one. So when you're playing, so once you're done gradually picking up the speed, it will show you as that's descending one. Now if we try to play the full cycle, for example, descending, ascending and descending together, if you play that, that's easy. Now for example, if you're having difficulty in being able to play 3 strings, so here we're playing 1, 2, 3, so we're playing 3 strings. Now if you are finding it difficult to play all together, what you can do is you can practice like this as well. So first practice these 2 strings, third and second string, practice that one first, then go to the second one. So once you master that up, then try to play gradually, mixing them up together. So once you're done with that, what you can do is, then you change octaves. Okay? Now this is on the higher note. If you have to go to the lower note, for example, let's play on the lower note. So this is the 3rd fret. So that's it. Change octaves. So 4 octaves that I'm trying to play. So for example, now descending. So what you're doing is, so your brain, both hands are able to, or your fingers are able to understand what you're trying to play. So gradually your concentration or your focus will help you to improve more and more in speed, pick up the speed on daily basis and regular basis. So now, for example, you're playing the ascending and descending both combined together. So that's descending. That's the descending. Sorry. So ascending, descending. So let's play it together. So when you're trying to play, when you taste, so in the fingering or the get a finger practice, there are so many things that once you get used to the strings with your plectrum, then you have to get used to the notes as well with your left hand. So when you're playing with this, so you have got to practice. You have to get used to the bar, the fretboard, how. Next time,